Alright, hey nerds! So welcome to today's video about Sieglinde. As you can see, I've refined Sieglinde. We're going to be talking about how it functions, what are the best practices in using it, and just giving you an example of how exactly it functions in, an actual combat situation. Granted, we're only going to be using a few set examples, but I hope you guys can sit there and enjoy. So, let's just hop into it, shall we? Okay, so here we are over on the chain challenge. I'm using Paralog 5 as a, easy option to kind of showcase this, mostly because there's an easy melee unit to showcase this without having to really, move too much or do too much and worry about variance or anything of the sort. I've also unequipped everything from Eirika that is or would improve her normal attacks over anything else. So, as you can see, she only has Hone Speed, and that of course is for others. We're just going to be using Sieglinde here as a simple test here. So, before we dive in there, I'm going to give you Eirika's stats on the left. As you can see, 43 attack, 36 speed, 31 defense, 28 res. And what we're going to do here is we're going to compare this to our good friend Alm over here, who's not only getting a buff, but also getting, of course, his attack plus 3, I believe that is. Yep, and he has 52 attack here. Thank God he doesn't have refined falchion. But anyways, we're gonna move Eirika in there, and then we're gonna come in with our tactics team, which is of course going to be how we're going to show off a lot of what the Sieglinde buff does. So we're going to enter in there. Didn't mean to do, and then we're going to just move our good friend in there. And as you can see, she's going to take quite a bit of damage. 21 damage. That's quite a lot considering, and that's a pretty extreme amount. I mean, that's a pretty hefty amount for poor Eirika there. So how is this going to change with a actual buff team, and how does Sieglinde work with its refinement? Well, let's just hop over to that. I'm going to get my buffing team out, and we're going to take a look at the number differences between these, okay? So, let's hop over there. Alright, hey nerds, here we are once again. I went through and just tested this just to make sure, but oh boy, we're gonna have some fun. So we're gonna go back into Paralog 5, and I do note that most of my characters are not fully leveled here. That's because Siegbert, I recently got I realized that I had a better IV, so I merged him into that one. Did not prepare for this. Ephraim and La Rochelle are not completely ready outside of their, tactics, which they have. So that's what we're going to be using in this video, is a simple look at tactic, the skills that come from it, the C skills that are there, and if it's really worthwhile to use it with Sieglinde, and how it changes her up. Okay, so let's just give an example, alright? So, first off and foremost, here are the things that are going to be happening. We're going to be using the tactic skill because, of course, it's probably the best buff you can get for an infantry unit out there that can be applied to her as well. We're going to be using res, defense, that of course comes from Shiro or Vanguard Ike if you happen to have him, and then of course attack tactic, God, that name, from Siegbert. You may be wondering why I'm using why I'm using Ephraim instead of, say, Shiro or anything. Mostly because I like the thematic view of it, and also, Sigmund and, Hone Speed, I've given him that seal there. You may wonder why I'm also using Siegbert, and the simple answer to that is shut up, I'm lazy. So, anyways, let's just talk about this real quick. The idea is we want to make sure that we have, two pairs of two different types of, movement. So we have 2 Cavaliers, 2 Infantry, and that activates the tactic skills. That's the simple idea, is that you want to have that. So with this, we're of course going to be raising Eirika's values already, but then we're also going to be including Sieglinde, which will be getting buffs from other party members as long as they're within 2 spaces. So each stat is, of course, calculated independently, but then added. So technically, we should be getting plus 12 to every stat. This is already plus 6 to several of them, namely defense, resistance, and attack, not speed, of course, but that's mostly because we don't have a speed tactic. So we're going to just move her forward, and we're going to see what this is going to do, okay? We're going to hopefully see Eirika do a lot more damage and take substantially less damage. from our good friend over there, who is going to, take a bit of a beating, I'm hoping. Now, just so we're clear, I expect one of these units to die because I don't expect her to. I don't expect her to actually kill and I expect Faye to come in and probably, go incredibly crazy over the fact that we hit But still, so last time we did this, before we move on, just so you know, what's going to happen is last time we we hit for 15 damage, and Eirika, of course, took 21 damage from If my math is correct, we should do 27 damage to and then of course we're also going to only take 9 damage. But let's hope that's right. Let's hope that's right. We may have we should double, I think, as well, but we'll see. Okay, yeah, we are going to double. As you can see, it's added both the values from the buffs over to her, and oh hey, good try, Faye. But you get the basic example there. That is the idea. We want to make sure that the characters, are buffing her, buffing not only themselves, but also buffing Eirika so she can take advantage of the buffs that come from her allies as well. And that adds a lot of accessibility to Sieglinde. It adds a lot of accessibility to not only buffing, as Eirika as a buffing unit can, of course, benefit from this. So that's not even including things like the possibility of speed tactic coming out later, or things like panic ploy that might, kind of mess with this advantage a little bit, but this is the simple example. And honestly, it's probably one of the better refinements that have come out, at least in that last update. Leo got a decent one, and Soren got a pretty substantial one as well, but Sieglinde has a lot of advantage if you manage to mix and match with some great team efforts, like, tactic skills and things like that. But it's really up to you if you want to do that. A 12 stat increase is pretty substantial if used correctly. I don't know how well it can be used in actual combat and, without having to really rely on things, but if you manage to at least have a team that's mixed like this, have something like attack tactic and maybe defense tactic, she's going to go in hard, and she's going to hit and defend especially hard. She's going to be able to, at least mine will hit, from what I can tell, 43 defense, which is outrageous. And then, of course, that's not including her res as well, which could go even further. So, yeah, it's ridiculous, it's crazy, but Sieglinde is probably one of my favorite refinements that I've done, at least recently, when it comes to all of that. But outside of that, guys, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about when it came to Sieglinde. I hope you guys got a better example of how that worked, how it went, and what's going to happen. So, well, that's about it, guys. Before I go, though, we're going to be doing the $15 gift card giveaway thing. Today's thing is going to be simple. It's just basically, what character have you built recently that you're proud of? If you want to, you can include a screenshot and just tell me why you're proud of them. You have about a day to put in a comment, and then afterwards we will, pick a winner tomorrow. All right, so that's about it, guys. Make sure to include your region, your OS as well, and from there, that's basically it. All right, so see you all very soon.